Why is the government a better solution for a lack of grocery stores, food deserts, than just working with the private sector to have them do what they know how to do, which is run grocery stores? What's your answer to that?
There are more than 1,000 grocery stores in New York City. I'm proposing creating 5 additional ones, one in each area of New York City that the city would run, that would guarantee cheaper groceries, not free food, but cheaper groceries. And part of that is because food is a necessity for New Yorkers. It's a necessity for everyone. And yet it's something that people are being priced out of.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Hey, what's going on, family? This time for No Picks Podcast.
What up, family? It's Joe, No Picks Podcast.
All right, Joe. So that was the first clip of about 3 I wanted to show today, right? So this is about Zahra Mamdani. You know, he's kind of captured the hearts and minds of
New Yorkers.
Yeah, trying to, going super hard for what they call democratic socialism, right? So I'm gonna play the second clip, and then we can get into it, and then if you want to, I can play the third clip that gives it a little bit more context. All right. So this is the second clip.
In Kansas City, where they had a government-run grocery store, and it's been there for years, but it's on the verge of closing because it doesn't work. They've been riddled with crime. They've dealt with just a lack of inventory. There are other examples where it just hasn't worked because, frankly, the government is not that good at being in the business of being in grocery stores.
So the third clip I want to play is of the Kansas City grocery store experiment that Abby Phillips mentioned in the interview, right?
Okay.
But before I even get to that, just general thoughts on, Zahra Mamdani's idea on government-run grocery stores in New York.
Yeah. Well, I can say it's definitely an interesting concept, right? This is making me want to look more into this issue, or into like government, the idea of government-run grocery stores. He definitely said that he just wants to have 5, right? So if in the city of New York, he just wants 5 grocery stores to be government-run. I don't know what that would look like. Like, I don't know if that'd be a bad thing, but just the fact that it's something different, I think I'd be open to it. You know what I mean? I'm always down for trying something different and seeing how it works. And if it works, then stick with it. And if not, then we can scratch it off the table. But just completely saying like, no, we're not going to try it. I'm like, why not? Try something different. I don't know. I'm not against it. I just don't know what to expect from it. So I'd rather just like let it happen and see what happens, just as a thought experiment.
Right. I mean, listen, the idea sounds cool, right? A government-run grocery store, but anything that deals with like, like products and profit and stuff like that is always going to be run better by like a private organizations who is going to put their best foot forward and prioritize profits. And by prioritizing profits, they want you to buy. They will want you to buy stuff, so they're going to produce the best available product so that you will buy it. So if the goal isn't profit, then it's like, okay, well, they don't have to provide the best corn. They don't have to provide the best beef. They just like, okay, cool, we're just going to do it because we don't really care about making money either way. So they're not going to put the extra effort in to make extra money because there's no benefit to it.
Okay.
Do you feel me? Like, as far as like,
so
there's no incentive.
No, yeah. I hear you. So the profit is an incentive, right? I guess the issue that Mamdani is having, and what he's saying that Americans or New Yorkers are having, is that food is too expensive. So if private companies do control the groceries, as they do, like how all the private brands have it now, what can they do to make food cheaper? If we're not going to put it up to the government, right? So I hear what you're saying. I'm going to ride with it and say, okay, so then what can they do then, since the private companies do own the grocery stores, to make food more affordable for Americans?
Right. I mean, all right. So
you know what I'm saying? Like, because he's trying to reduce food prices. That's his goal. So like, how do you achieve that by not having government-run grocery stores and currently what we have now? How do you make food cheaper for Americans? That's the issue. How do we do that?
Yeah. All right, that's a good question. But let me play the clip about the Kansas City grocery store.
Yeah. That interesting.
Yeah. So that way we can get a little bit of a clearer picture, because it actually happened.
Yeah.
So.
As a voice for everyone, we're following up on tips we received from viewers about deteriorating conditions at the Sunfresh grocery store in the Linwood Shopping Center off Prospect.
First off, the smell. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
I watch people walk in and walk out.
The grocery store has received financial assistance from the city, but has been unable to keep those shelves stocked in an area that in the past has often been referred to as a food desert.
Around here, a good thing don't last too long.
And it will impact a lot of people and a lot of families.
KSHB 41 News reporter Alyssa Jackson went to the store to witness it for herself and is amplifying the voices of frustrated customers and community leaders.
It's clear this Sunfresh at 31st and Prospect is struggling. This is the first section people see when they come in. There's barely any produce. A lot of the coolers and shelves around the store look the same way, empty. So shoppers have been asking us, if the store isn't closing, then where's all the food? A rotten smell comes through the door, and anywhere you turn, you'll see products that need to be restocked. No hot food or deli.
There was a time this store was on life support. I can tell you today, right now, it's damn near dead.
This is a new low, even to people like Pat Clark, who've watched the store go through its ups and downs.
30 days ago, hell, we look like a grocery store again.
The city owns the Linwood Shopping Center. A nonprofit operates the grocery store. Public and private investments are in the millions of dollars for the center. The nonprofit didn't respond to a request for comment. I did ask the mayor's office if the city had plans to step in and consider additional funding. The office responded, the city will work closely with store ownership and all neighborhood stakeholders to support the long-term viability of the store based on normal revenues from customers and area consumers.
Where's the money at? I'm asking where the money is.
The shelves could indicate the future of the store.
Come in here. Look what's going on.
They also say a lot about how much patience people have left.
Let the store close. Everything on this lot will start to fail. Then whose problem is it then?
Alyssa Jackson, KSHB 41 News.
Yeah, so that was the news report in the Kansas City grocery store that was government run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any do ideas change, or like, would you have any other additional thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's the information I have now on this is limited, right? But I'm going to try to form an opinion. It definitely sucks that the Sunfresh failed or is failing the way that it is, right? I just don't know exactly why it failed, though. Like, where is the money? Where is the food? Why can't they stock the shelves? Because in theory, you would have the city owns a grocery store and has private and government investors. So I don't know how the process works. Like, who's responsible for stocking the shelves? And I just don't know how that would work if it's city owned, because with private companies, they're in charge of all that. They have to get all the inventory, order it, get it shipped, and you hire people stock it, and then same thing happens. But for when it's government or city run, I don't really know that process and how it works. And if it's a nonprofit running it, that makes me a little skeptical too, because I don't know if a nonprofit is best equipped to kind of. I question a lot of nonprofits, you know what I mean? Because they a lot of them be a hot mess, you know what I mean? So, and with people with inflated salaries up top, you know what I mean? So, I don't know if it's not. I'm on the fence because I want to see it happen in New York. I really, really do. Just because it's like, think about it. It's only 5 grocery stores, bro. You know how many grocery stores there are in New York? I imagine there are. Yeah. There are numerous ones.
Rob said it was 1,000 of them.
1,000. So you telling me out of 1,000, 5 government-run grocery stores? What would that do? Cause chaos? Would it cause the economy in New York to collapse? I don't think so. I think it'd be an interesting social experiment. I think that I don't know. Like, what if they are able to keep those food prices down? Like, what would happen? Right. Maybe there would be more government. Maybe they would start expanding. Maybe there would be more. I don't know, bro. Sounds like I hope it's not that people are afraid that these government-owned grocery stores are going to be start competing against the private-owned ones and bringing in more customers. I don't know. But where are you at? Like, are you just completely against this whole notion of government-run grocery stores?
I don't think that. All right, so government-run stuff for me is like, okay, all right. So for me, I work for the government, right? I work for the Social Security Administration. We've talked about this before. So I make the same amount of money whether I help 100 people a day or 0 people a day. My salary is my salary. Right. I don't get commission. I don't get no kind of I don't get no bonus. I don't get none of that shit.
Yeah.
So if that works the same way, like if the say the person that works at the government run grocery store, if they gonna make $40,000, whether they help, whether they work with people or whether they not work with people, you're going to get people that's like, well, listen, I'm only willing to go so far because I'm gonna make the same amount of money. So because what motivates people, I would argue, is profit. Like, okay, well, the reason that people in customer service and people who work for like commission jobs go so hard, they try so hard, is because the more business they get, the more money they make. But that's not the case when you work for the government.
Right.
So I work for the government. I'm like, okay, listen, if a lady if a guy or a lady is giving me a hard time, I'm 100% more amped to be like, you can just get the fuck out the office. Because I don't gotta deal with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get paid the same thing next Friday.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with your nasty attitude. So if the people at the government city run grocery stores are doing the same thing, then it's like, okay, and it don't matter either way. And think about it from the farmer's perspective. If I got all this corn and I'm selling it to different grocery stores, if the government run grocery stores like, hey, listen, let me get it for half the price, then the conglomerate, that's who the hell you gonna sell it to?
Yeah.
You gonna take a hit,
Right.
or you gonna give it to the like? So it makes sense why their cabinets and shit look kind of like bare, because it's like, I mean, if you're the farmer, are you gonna do it just for the strength of making sure that people eat, or are you gonna do it to try to make a profit?
Yeah. Interesting. So I don't know if you'll agree with this point, right? But when we think about like food, like the food industry, grocery stores, I've always been under the impression that capitalism as a system in regards to like our food is so wasteful. I think about how much food we actually waste, how much food goes expired and just gets trashed, instead of going to like shelters or to homeless people, or what I mean, I think about how much food we honestly waste, even at restaurants. When people go and eat, they don't finish all their food, all the food that goes to waste, buffets, all the food that gets wasted, and I'm sure they recycle some of the food and put it back out the next day. But like, when I think of the capitalist system in regards to food, I think about how wasteful we are, and there are ways that we can kind of avert that, but I don't know why we don't do that. But what if all that food that we wasted maybe got funneled into these government or city run grocery stores, and maybe they sold it at a cheaper price? Instead of wasting that food, people could buy products, even if they were close to expiration, they could buy food at a cheaper price. I think that would be an idea that you could also implement as well. It would take a lot of collaboration with private companies and making sure all that someone has to pick up the food and distribute and take it. But I think there are ways that we can take this food that we waste and funnel it somewhere somehow, so it's not getting all wasted, bro. I don't know. I just feel like if we want to change a lot of our issues in our country, we have to have more imagination. And I think just writing ideas off because they sound too crazy or too radical, I'm like, bro, like what we have now is working the way that it's working now. All the issues we have now, this is the system we currently have in place. So my thing is always like, what are we going to do differently to change, say, the cost of food, to make food more affordable? I'm always thinking about, what are we going to do differently? If we're not going to do the government run stores, fine. Okay, we won't do it. But what are we going to do instead so we can get cheaper food for Americans? That's always my question,
Right.
bro. Like, we could point out that this might be a crazy far leftist socialist idea, but like, okay, well, what's the alternative? Because what we have now, people are saying is not working. And if it's not working, what are we going to do? That's always what are we going to do? I'm for trying something different. And if it fails, let it fail. And then you could be like, see, Joe, you dumbass, this shit was never going to work off rip. Like I told you it was going to go. If it failed, then I'd be like, bro, you right. Like it was a waste of resources and money, but we don't even know. We don't know.
I want Zahra Mamdani to win. Like, I want him to do all the stuff that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Rent freeze, making sure public transportation is free by taxing the rich. I genuinely want him to do all of this.
I thought you'd be against
right?
it.
No. Like, if he is the goddamn visionary and figures out a way that everybody could do this in a harmonious way,
Yeah.
and he makes all of it work, I think the dude would be like an amazing politician.
Yeah.
Right. Because this is, regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum, right? Like conservative to liberal to all the fringes, people just want to be like, yo, you know what? This is a better world. Like, regardless of how that looks. Like, so it's like, but if he's doing it in a way that the people that are being taxed don't feel like they're getting fucked, then I think they'll accept it.
Yeah.
The reason I think Now maybe I'm thinking of it in a different way, right? But the reason I think rich people, the billionaires and the millionaires, are like, I'm not trying to get super taxed, is because they don't see what comes of that. They're like, yo, listen, I'm paying all this money. Like take California for example. They tax the top people in their state a crazy amount of money, and they say, hey, we're doing it for homelessness, and homelessness keeps creeping up.
Right.
So it looks like your money is not going anywhere.
Right.
And all these nonprofits are the only ones that are getting rich. When Gavin Newsom is taxing all these rich people and taking all their money, giving them to nonprofits, the only ones that get rich is the nonprofits, and the amount of homeless keeps going up.
Yeah, that
So
I see that.
I think if you're a rich person, right? I'm not a rich person, so I'm just going by, you know what I mean, just logic. I think if you're a rich person and you see that your money is going to a good cause, you're not going to bitch and cry about it. But if you see that the problem that they say, hey, you know what, I'm taxing you for this reason, and the problem still persists, then it's like, why don't I just keep my fucking money?
I mean, okay, so I completely understand. I'm not wealthy either, so I don't understand the perspective of having. I do know I pay a lot of taxes, which sucks. I hate it, but I guess my thing is like, okay, if rich people want to hold on to their money because they don't want to waste it, why don't they go on their personal ventures? Why don't they be like, all right, listen. So, for example, maybe a rich Pennsylvanian will be like, damn, SEPTA's really struggling right now. I have a buttload of money. How about I just help SEPTA with the SEPTA situation? So it's going to help all the citizens of Philadelphia, all the commuters. We're going to avoid increasing the hike and making working class people pay more. That would be something that I feel like a rich person could be like, hey, I'm going to give up 2, 3, whatever, however much that shortfall was. Why can't they come together for stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Like there are things that they can choose to be like, I'm going to throw my money at this because I want this to work, or improving our streets or something. Like I said, they have wealth. We're talking about wealthy people, not, which people who have an excess amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, all right, if they don't want to be taxed and they don't want their taxes to be wasted, it's like, I would like to see more philanthropic efforts. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see them more being like, all right, bet this is going to be my cause. I'm going to support this. I'm going to help a city or a state or people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see that coming from people who are wealthy, because otherwise they have all this excess wealth that's not into the economy, that's in a savings account that's collecting interest for them and making them more wealthy. It's just sitting there. It's not circulating in the economy. You know what I'm saying? Like all that bread is just sitting in like private accounts, bro. Like it never goes back into the economy. So what do you do with all that excess? All that, I'm talking about wealthy people. I'm talking about the Elon Musks, people who are like multi-billionaires. You know what I mean? Like Mark Zuckerberg's, all that. I'm talking about the wealth, the uber wealthy. Because what's you know what I mean?
I can understand. I can understand people being like, yo, I'm a laser focus on this particular issue. You know, like and fund this particular issue, like the SEPTA thing. You
know what I'm saying? Like SEPTA, we're struggling right now.
I can understand that. I can understand, right? But just being like, yo, just tax all these rich people so that the government could do it. These government city run. They said in the news, John, they was like, yo, like this market makes millions of dollars. They funnel millions of dollars into this shit.
Yeah.
So that says there's some kind of mismanagement there. Maybe there are people in these positions in this joint that don't know what the fuck they're doing because they're not equipped to do it.
Right.
They probably have some government job. Like if I work. If you just throw me in the fucking restaurant industry, I won't know what to spend money on. I'll be like, okay, cool. Like y'all gonna have a bunch of tomahawk steaks and no fucking potatoes. You know what I mean? I don't know what to do. Like I'm gonna be like, okay, niggas gonna be like, cool. In my head, I'm like, everybody wants steak. I don't think niggas want baked potatoes. I don't really care because I don't really care for baked potatoes. So I'm gonna be like, okay, like you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you gotta have. There are people who need to be specialized to do this shit, and the government isn't specialized to do this shit. The government has proven throughout our entire history that they aren't capable of managing money.
Well, I mean, yeah, the government is doing a lot right now. Mismanaging money is one of those things.
And if Zahra does something crazy, I'm all for it. Like I'm not like, rooting against this dude. I think he's gonna win.
Well, he has a lot of support.
But if he wins, it may be a gift and a curse because he wins, he implements his shit, and if the shit ends horribly, rent freezes. If people are not trying to develop in the city of New York, like, okay, I can't make any money because I can't charge people rent,
right?
That the rent that I want to make, that might be less people in housing, which will increase the homeless rate,
right? No,
so, this is just me like hypothesizing. However, if the bull does it,
I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I think you have to give these, like, if so all the doubt, all the skeptics, all the haters, the skeptics, the doubters, if they
Right.
feel strongly about it and he wins, I'd say let him do what he wants to do. And if it
Right.
fails, then you can be like, we told you. But
Right.
completely being like,
Yeah.
no, we're not even going to try it. For me, it makes it look
Yeah.
like, are you guys afraid that it's going to be popular? Are you guys afraid
Yeah.
that it's going to actually succeed and then show a different way? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it's
Right.
like I could understand letting him get in there, and then if you think it's going to fail, let it fail. But like
Yeah.
some,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? For me, it's
Yeah.
interesting when they're just like, nah, like even Hakeem Jeffries won't even endorse him. This is the Democrat,
Yeah. I saw that. I
the
saw
head
that.
of the Democratic Party right now. He won't even endorse
Right.
him. And it's my thing. He's your own party. He's in your own party. He's popular in
Right.
your demographic with your constituents. The place that
Right.
you're from, that you represent, they want him, and you don't even endorse him. You see what I'm saying? And the Democrats are trying
Right.
to find their niche or like their new angle and trying to figure out how to
Yeah.
like beat the Republicans. But like when you have someone in your party who's popular, even the Bernie Sanders,
Right.
even to an extent AOC, you just push them to the side and say, no, we don't like that type of democratic views. And it's just like, bro, this is what the people are saying is popular. Why not try to lean into that wave a little bit, and maybe that'll help you win some elections, or you know what I'm saying, or maybe bring about positive change for everyday Americans. I just feel like we need something different. That's my whole angle, bro.
Right.
Like we have to try something different. If it's gonna fail, let us at least try. And then if it fails, we can say, there you go. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all I'm
No,
saying,
I
bro.
agree.
You
I
know what I
agree
mean?
with
Just
that.
try.
Yeah. All right. Listen, family. Let us know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.
Until next time.